How's it going, guys? Beefy Boy here. We are back making an updated Ret Paladin guide with the recent 11.0.5 changes. I also just wanted to say thank you for all the positive feedback, constructive criticism, and suggestions in my previous guide. We are growing fast, but we want to ensure we have the best content possible for you all. Thank you, and let's get right into it. Let's start with gear and stat priority. Almost all the gear is up for your discretion, with focusing on crit and mastery. The only real pieces we want are going to be Arakar Sackbrood and Mark of Kadros, which are going to be our primary trinkets. The weapon can be a crafted weapon with the Ascendance embellishment and a secondary embellished piece, or we can have two crafted pieces with Dawnweave lining, the one that boosts our critical strike. Everything else is crit and mastery focused. We want to priority our mastery, then crit, then haste, and then finally versatility. For consumables, we're going to want the Tempered Flask of Aggression for critical strike, our Augment Rune, our Algari Mana Oil, and our Feast for primary stat. And now, into the build we'll be using. We'll be using this build for nearly every single dungeon. Let's get into our rotation. One of the easiest classes to play currently because of its simplified rotation. For multi-target, we're going to start out with Judgment, Blade of Justice, into an Executioner Sentence. We use our Trinket and our Pot into our Wake of Ashes, which then gives us our Hammer of Light into our Divine Toll, giving us Holy Power to spend on Divine Storm. From there, it's just rinse and repeat. Judgment, Blade of Justice, Hammer of Wrath when we have our wings, and then Divine Storm. A helpful reminder is to try to avoid overcapping our Holy Power, which means using too many Holy Power builders in a row without spending. As for single target, it's identical. We start with Judgment, Blade of Justice, Executioner Sentence, Trinket, and Potion into our Wake of Ashes, Final Verdict, Divine Toll, Hammer of Wrath, Final Verdict. From there, it's the exact same thing. We're using our builders to build, and we're spending once we hit 3 to 5 Holy Power. And you may get your Divine Storm that lights up, which is a proc. I would use that every time that lights up. And we want to be able to maximize our damage by using those free abilities. Now, into maximizing our damage using Dusk and Dawn. So the way we use this ability is by using 3 Holy Power builders such as Judgment, Blade of Justice, Divine Toll, or Hammer of Wrath, or even our Crusader Strike auto attacks, which generates a Holy Power after 2 autos. That will give us a damage bonus on our next Holy Power spender. We then use our Holy Power spender, such as Divine Storm or Final Verdict, and that will give us Blessing of Dusk, which reduces the damage we take. If you maintain the Dusk and Dawn procs, I guarantee it will boost your damage. Again, while trying not to overcap on our Holy Power. Lastly, I want to get into our add-ons and our weak auras. For Ret Paladin, we really don't need to use any add-ons or weak auras. We can play with just basic UI, but in order to maximize our damage, there are certain abilities like Dusk and Dawn and Divine Resonance, which, if tracked correctly and used correctly, will see a spike in our damage by making sure that we don't overcap our Holy Power and by knowing when we're going to get the next Holy Power coming in. I will put my weak auras and my add-ons in the description. Here's what the add-ons and weak auras will look like in-game. Finally, I'd like to say my thoughts and opinions on the changes in 11.0.5. With these changes, I truly believe that Ret Paladin has jumped a couple places in the overall rankings. I think their utility now will be a key choice in picking them for keys, with the buffs to our blessings, our freedom, and our off-healing. The potential to help time keys is even greater now. If you have any questions, comments, or suggestions, go ahead and feel free to leave those in the comment section. We stream daily on Twitch, we do viewer keys regularly, and we're just starting out. So we'd love to see all the new faces. Don't forget to hit that like button, comment, and subscribe. Thank you all so much.